Namaskar. A very good morning to all my dear friends who are watching this webinar across India and across the globe. At the outset, I would like to thank the Department of Music, University of Madras for giving me this opportunity of presenting my paper in this international webinar. I'm going to present my paper on Kuchipudi dance and music. In general, talk about Kuchipudi dance, then about the music which we use in Kuchipudi, about the Yakshaganas, and in particular about Usha Parinayam Yakshagana. I would like to take this opportunity and thank Dr. Rashri Garu, in charge head Department of Music, for giving us this opportunity of presenting our paper in this international webinar. Kuchipudi dance is one of the classical dance forms of India. It had its origin in the Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. Basically, Kuchipudi dance is a Natya tradition. Yesteryears witnessed Kuchipudi dance more of a dance drama tradition. The dancers danced on improvised platforms, moving from one place to another with a little bit of lights. There were not much of lighting effect also when they were performing their Yakshaganas or their productions. But with the changing times, today we find Kuchipudi spread across India and across the globe. In every nook and corner of the world, we can find Kuchipudi gurus, Kuchipudi artists spreading across this particular art form which belongs to the Kuchipudi village in Andhra Pradesh. Now let me talk about the music which is used in the Kuchipudi style of dance. The music which we use in the Kuchipudi style of dance is the Carnatic music. And as everyone knows that Carnatic ragas are basically used in all the classical dance forms which are based in the southern part of India. And Kuchipudi is also following the Carnatic ragas. We start a Kuchipudi dance performance with a Nata ragam and end it with a Surati ragam. In the Kuchipudi style of dance, we have many ragas. For the starting, we use the Nata raga, and then we have the Shabdams where we use the Mohana ragam, especially the Ramayana Shabdam, the Sri Krishna Janana Shabdam, and in the Jatiswarams we have the Athana ragam, we have the Vasanta ragam, we have the Hamsadwani ragam. All these ragas, which are the Carnatic ragas, form a very important place in the Kuchipudi style of dance. There is music without dance, but there is no dance without music. Music forms an important part of any classical dance form, and there is no exception even for the Kuchipudi style of dance. After the Shabdams, we have the Kirtanas, we have the Tarangams, we have the Tillanas. All these solo items which we perform have many beautiful ragas which are taken from the Carnatic ragas. The Yakshaganas which were performed in the yesteryears, few of the traditional and the most important Yakshaganas which were performed by the Kuchipudi gurus are the Mohini Rukmangada, the Harish Chandra, the Shashireka Parinayam, the Usha Parinayam, the Ramanatakam, and today I would be talking more on Usha Parinayam, as the time given to me is only 10 to 15 minutes. I cannot fit in all the Yakshaganas. So in a nutshell, I would take up one Yakshagana in general, that is the Usha Parinayam, and try to show what are the ragas, the Carnatic ragas, which are used very predominantly in this Yakshagana, the Usha Parinayam, which was written by Rendu Chintala Chitambara Kavi. The story of Usha Parinayam starts with King Banasura, who is a very staunch devotee of Lord Shiva. He prays to Lord Shiva and seeks a boon from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is impressed by his puja and grants a boon to King Banasura. And Banasura asks Lord Shiva to come to his Raj, which is the Sonapuri Raj, and guard the place where he is ruling that particular place. And Lord Shiva agrees to King Banasura's wish and comes and guards the Sonapuri, the kingdom where King Banasura is ruling. He has a daughter who is Usha. Usha is a very small girl of around 15-16 years. She doesn't know what is love, what is life. She sees Anirudh in her dream and falls in love with him. Then she talks about Anirudh to her friend Chitralekha, who draws a portrait and shows it to Usha. Usha, when she sees Lord Krishna's portrait, she says, "Oh, this is nearby to the person who I have seen in my dreams." So Chitralekha knows that it is Anirudh. Making use of her power, she goes and gets Anirudh, who is sleeping in his kingdom. And when Anirudh sees Usha, he falls in love with her immediately. And then Banasura comes to know that his daughter is staying with somebody in her chambers, that is Antapuram. And when he comes to know that it is Anirudh, and here Lord Krishna, not finding his grandson, comes to know that Anirudh is staying with Usha in the Shonapuri kingdom of Banasura, starts and they both have a fight, and in the end Usha is married to Anirudh. So this is the gist of the story of Usha Parinayam. Usually any Yakshagana is started with a prayer to Lord Ganesha, Agajanana Padmakam, which is set to Nataraga and Aditala. After the prayer to Lord Ganesha, we move on and we have the Vedas Swasti and the Nandi Shlokas, which is set to Revati Ragam. Revati Ragam is a ragam which denotes bhakti. And here, by using this bhakti raga, we are asking gods to bless all the people. And after the Veda Swasti and the Nandi Shlokas, we have the traditional prayer of Amba, that is goddess Tripura Sundari, who is the goddess of the Kuchpudi village, where we have a temple of goddess Tripura Sundari. Any program of the Kuchpudi style of dance starts with Amba Paraku, Devi Paraku, Mammelu Ma Sharada Amba Paraku, which is set to Kamboji Ragam. In this, you find it starts with a Misra Chapu and then it goes on to Chaturasra. We start with a Misra and then we end it with a Chaturasra. After the Amba Paraku, we have the Todai Mangalam, which is again set to Nataragam. Nataragam, where, with which raga we start any performance or any dance. After that, we have the Chandas in the Saveri Raga, wherein we pray to all the song in which we pray to all the gods. We pray to Vishnu, we pray to Lakshmi, we pray to Brahma, Saraswati, Shiva, Parvati, Rama, Sita, Hanumanta. In this particular, the Saveri Raga is used. So beautifully we can find, it starts off with the Nataragam, and then we have the Revati, and then we have the Kamboji Raga, and then now we have the Saveri Raga. All these ragas are such beautiful and traditional ragas which find an important place in the Kuchipudi style of dance. And after the Chandas, we have the Sandhi Vachanam, which is set to Athana Ragam. With this Sandhi Vachanam, we say that this particular pay, Usha Parinayam, is going to start. And then after the Sandhi Vachanam, we have the Davvarukudu Daru, which is set to Kamas Raga and Aditala, in which we say that the Dwarapalas are entering. How is their Veshabhushna? How are they dressed? It is like Dwara Kudaru Denchene. I'm basically a dancer, not a singer, but I will try to show at least one line of each Daru which is being presented in the Usha Parinayam. After the Davvarikudu Daru, we have the Raju Pravesha. We say King Banasura is entering, and it is set to Saveri Ragam and Adithalam. King Banasura is coming into the hall. He is on an elephant, and it is like Raju Vedale Sabhaku Balitanayudagu Asura Raju Vedale Sabhaku. See, in this particular traditional Yakshaganas, there are a lot of Darus, there are Chunikas, there are Kandharthams, there are Dvipadyas, and especially a Daru in a Yakshagana has a Pallavi, has an Anupallavi and has 2 charanams or 3 charanams with a Mudra charanam. And after the Raju Pravesa, we show the Daru where the King Banasura has prayed to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva has granted him the boon, and he is coming to Shonapuri. Vedale Shankaruda Pudu Shonapuriki, which is very beautifully set to Shankarabharanam Ragam and Aditalam. See, all the traditional Karnataka ragas are so beautifully taken in the Yakshaganas, and after the Vedale Shankarudapudu Sonapuriki, we have the Pravesha of Usha Kanya. Usha is a very small and a traditional daru which is set to Kedaragaula Ragam and Aditalam, and this particular daru of Usha starts with a Takita gap. Takita Vedale Banuni Varasuta Korkeli Tera Vedale Banuni Varasuta. Here we saw all the delicacy of Usha, who is a girl of 15 to 16 years old who doesn't know anything much about life, and depicting her moods in the Yakshagana. The Carnatic ragas have been taken up, and after this we have the Pula Bantuladare Daru, where Usha is playing with all her friends. In this particular Daru, she is very happy, and this particular Daru is set to Jhanjuti Ragam, in where we say that Usha Kanya is happily playing with all her friends. Pula Bantuladare Bhogi Sayanu Padare Balika Manulara Talajala Balame Suga Suga Pula. So in this particular, she is very happy, and after playing with all her Sakhi, she goes back to her Antapuram, where in her dream she sees Anirudh, and now she feels wherein the banas of Manmada is throwing all the Cupid, the love arrows on Usha Kanya, and hear the song Anangudu Ghanam Batanchu Agrahinche Nachali. This particular Daru is set to Gambhir Nata, wherein you can show the Manmada throwing the Cupid love arrows on her, and she is not able to bear the pangs of the love, or she is not able to understand what is happening. So all these expressions are very clearly shown, not only by the dancer who is dancing, but also by the singer who is singing this particular Daru. And then we have the Pravesa of her friend Chitralekha. Chitralekha is her friend, and who is the daughter of the Mantri of King Banasura, and it is Vedale Kumbandu Putri Vedka Ranjil, which is very beautifully set to Sahana Ragam and Aditalam. So we have so many Carnatic ragas coming here in this Yakshagana, that is Usha Parinam. And then we have, when Usha is trying to explain how Anirudh looks like, and Chitralekha is trying to take out draw a portrait of Anirudh, and in that particular Daru, which says Patamu Chudare Vega Padmayatakshiro. This particular Daru is set to Shankarabharanam Ragam, and when she is drawing the portrait of Lord Krishna, she says, "This is Anirudh." And then Chitralekha goes and gets Anirudh. Both of them fall in love, and in the end, both of them are married. And we end this particular Yakshagana with a Surati Ragam. As I said that every dance performance in Kuchipudi starts with a Nata Ragam and ends with a Surati, and then we have the Mangalam. In between there are many Darus, many Churnikas, Dvipadas, but due to time I have just spoken about few of the important darus which play an important role in the Usha Parinayam Yakshagana. I would like to show a small item, the Pravesa Daru of Usha, before I conclude, because I have been given a time of 10 to 15 minutes within which I have to complete my presentation. So coming from the Department of Dance, Patti Sri Ramulu Telugu University, I thought I would like to show a little bit of the dance from this particular Yakshagana Usha Parinayam. So I'll be performing that before you all. So like this, we have many darus in the Usha Parinayam, and I would like to thank Rashmi Madam for giving me this opportunity of presenting my paper on Yakshaganas and traditional Yakshaganas. Thank you so much.